Have you ever looked at your life and realized it feels safe, but strangely small? You have a steady job, familiar routines, people who know exactly what to expect from you. And yet, deep down, a quiet voice keeps whispering, "There's more." Karim heard that voice for years. He just never answered it. This is the story of the man who chose comfort and slowly lost the person he was meant to become. Karim was 28 when he landed what everyone called a good job. Stable salary, health benefits, 9 to 5 rhythm, weekends free. His parents smiled with relief. His friends congratulated him. Finally settled, they said. And Karim smiled back, because settling felt like winning. He was good at his role. Data entry turning into junior analyst, turning into reliable team member. He knew the coffee machine settings by heart, the shortcut to the parking spot that saved 30 seconds, the exact tone to use in meetings so no one felt challenged. Life was predictable. Predictable was peaceful. Peaceful was enough, wasn't it? Every now and then, the dream would surface. He used to sketch logos late at night in college. Talked about starting a small design studio. Even had a name picked out, Horizon Creative. But dreams are loudest when life is quiet, and Karim's life had become very quiet. At 32, he met Sarah at a friend's gathering. She had just quit a corporate job to freelance full-time as a graphic designer. Her eyes lit up when she talked about client calls at 2 a.m., rejections that stung, small wins that felt massive. Karim listened, fascinated, and a little afraid. "You're not scared?" he asked. "Of course I'm scared," she laughed. But staying where I was felt scarier, like I was watching my own life from the outside. That sentence stayed with him for months. He started opening design software again at home, just to play. Made a few mock-ups, felt that old spark. But every time he thought about taking a real step, updating LinkedIn, reaching out to old contacts, pitching a first client, the voice of comfort answered louder. What if you fail? What if you lose the stability? What if everyone thinks you're crazy? So he closed the laptop and went back to the routine that never asked anything hard of him. Time moved faster than he expected. 35 came quietly, then 38. One evening, he scrolled through social media and saw an old classmate's post. A photo of a sleek office with the caption, "Horizon Creative, 5 years strong." The logo was almost exactly the one Karim had sketched in college. Not the same, but painfully close. Karim stared at the screen until his eyes burned. He wasn't angry at his classmate. He was grieving. Grieving the version of himself who once believed he could build something. That version had waited too long in the waiting room of comfort, and eventually just left. That night, Karim didn't sleep. Instead, he opened a blank document and wrote one sentence: "I'm allowed to want more." The next morning, he didn't quit his job. He didn't make a dramatic announcement. He simply started. 1 hour after work, sketching again. One small freelance gig found on a forum. One rejection, then another, then a yes. It wasn't glamorous. It was slow, uncertain, sometimes lonely. But every tiny step felt like oxygen after years of shallow breathing. Comfort is not the enemy. It becomes the enemy when it stops being a resting place and becomes the final destination. Growth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers for years, until one day the whisper becomes a question you can no longer ignore. Is this really all there is? If you've been hearing that whisper, maybe today is the day you finally answer it. You don't have to burn everything down, you just have to start. If this story stirred something inside you, if you've ever chosen safe over alive, share it in the comments. I read every word. Thank you for spending this time with me on Stories by Elle. If you want more tales that gently remind us we're allowed to grow, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, listen to the whisper. It knows the way.